Hello and welcome to my stream. Okay, today we're gonna do something a little bit different. That's getting Handicraft up to level 7, but what's different is I'm actually gonna put my other character as a shared dual screen video. Now I've never actually done this before, so this is literally live test as well. Um, so I do appreciate that it will look a little bit more distorted than normal, but that's due to the sizes. Um, because obviously dual screen it is. So yeah. Anyway, we'll take you there. So obviously that's we're in Bordeaux at the moment. Now, at the moment I'm level 5 in Handicraft, so it's just really gonna be a matter of actually just getting the job done, really, if you like. Just keep grinding and more grinding, back and forth between Nantes and Bordeaux to get the raisins into wine, that sort of thing at the moment. So it is a bit of a drag, but it kind of at the same time shows you a little bit of the grind process, I hope, and how two characters can be better than one. So I hope that hopefully I can show that off in a good way. So as you can see, I'm at the market keeper and we're gonna sell all this. So off we go to Nantes, where we will process the raisins. So because there's not much food available at the moment, we are actually going to use the barkeep foods. Um, Choose milk, that way you won't get drunk. So then the only contention you've got to do is with the food, and if you only fill it about halfway, you shouldn't, hopefully, fingers crossed, get full where you'll need a stomach med or pause your production. So, we're at level 15 trade. So that is a little bit of a secret at the moment. To think about. If we can shift that all over. Yeah, we can. So it is a bit of a juggle act with two characters. But if you can get into a swing of it, then it can be really beneficial. And the good thing about it is it's all in the you're allowed to do this sort of thing. You're allowed up to 3 tunes online at once. A lot of people are against it. I am to a point. 3 I think is a bit too much. I think you can manage your skills quite well with 2, but some people do the 3, and you know what, it's in the rules, let them do it. I mean, there are families out there that perhaps do all play the game, so why not, is my thing. I used to run 3 characters before the reset. mostly, in fact, I could pretty much say I only did it for nan bands to East Asia and back, with a little bit maybe in between, but I weren't constantly pulling three characters around at all times. So I was only really doing it as to boost, obviously because I had my speed ship, the cargo playoff. So I kind of only did it because of that. That way I could still make a decent one and stuff. Um, Obviously there are those that do take a biscuit and do try and run away with 5 characters. Personally, I have no idea how they manage it, but then I suppose if you're only towing and stuff, I suppose reality is quite easy once you've got them leveled up. I would guess anyway. Personally, I wouldn't like to try more than 3. It was unbearable, but I think, well, I wouldn't say unbearable, but I would say it um, certainly slowed you down. That is for sure. So it's not something you would do port hopping with, put it that way. That is a definite sort of no-no, so to speak. So this video, unfortunately, under the old grind, would have been relatively easy, but at the moment, because we have been reset, as you can see, luxury trading's only a 3, nearly 4, which is good to see. But yeah, we have got low levels. Yes, we do have a boost, like a 200% at the moment, and I think it's 100 booster after I think level 6 or something like that. So it does all help, but it's still painstakingly slow is the problem really. So every now and again we just have to top up with food. I'll try and do this in Bordeaux, Bordeaux, and then run back with whatever's left over. Now one of the reasons I have chosen Nantes and Bordeaux to do my grind for Handicraft, yes, you could say, well, at level 5 you could do something a lot better than wine. Yes, that part is probably true. However, I'm getting my luxury up slowly by buying the raisins. I'm also getting my alcohol by taking wine over to Nantes. And I'm also filling up with food, which will help towards food trading on the way back to Bordeaux, as well as one slot of alcohol. So you're kind of putting that all in the mix, and I personally think it works out pretty well. Simply because um, simply because it works, really. I know that sounds like a lousy um, explanation, and it is, but in my opinion, at the moment, it does work with my skills that I want to try and level up. Now, obviously, this is one of many ways to level up Handicraft. At the moment, I'm just interested in getting to level 7 Handicraft. That way I can make layer tools, which I've not seen many around at the moment, so I'm kind of hoping that I can kind of cash in a little bit with them just while we are still in the early stages. I mean, obviously they're not going to go for 1,000,000 or anything like that daft each. Be great if I did, don't get me wrong, but you know, realistically speaking, I believe it costs something like 10 million to make. Therefore, you'd perhaps you know, I think it was about 100 to make, so therefore I'm looking at around 200 each, maybe 250 if I can. I mean, I don't want to be silly over it. I mean, I still want to be sensible, but at this early stage I do think I could cash in a little bit on them. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to be a billionaire over them or anything like that, but I definitely do think I can make, you know, a bit of money off them, like, off the back of them. You know, because I do think they'll be, I think they are in great demand. I've not seen any around at the moment. So you see what I mean about my food trading and spot of alcohol. But yeah, I do think I can definitely get something from selling the layer tools once I get that far. And obviously for layer tools you can get these regular from a shopkeeper in capital cities. Sewing kits and dye, I'm not sure if they're dye kits or just some sort of dyes from the shopkeeper, and then you're just taking them to any company admin shop and make them basically. I will do a little, once I get that far, I will show you guys how to do it. I think on this particular trip, I think we're just in need of a slight reset here, because I've noticed that the quantity is going down and down and down. So hopefully by going to Bilboa, it should hopefully, I hope, reset it a certain amount. Or at least that's the idea behind it. Whether or not it will or not, I don't know. I know visiting a few different other ports does help. So with a bit of luck we might be able to do it. As I say, this is going to be a bit of a long grind, but hopefully hopefully it does the job for us. And I think it, yep, I was going to say it's the first time I've been here. So we'll nip into the tavern as usual. We'll use that. So like I say, I'm doing it nice and dual screen so you can see exactly how I use my character. Just finish off M5. Now, I suspect, I don't think I'll be able to get a great deal for a return journey, skill set wise, but we'll have a look what we can do. See what we got. Well, I can definitely make use of them. Okay, not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. At least I managed to help my levels a little bit, I guess. I mean, if you notice there, rares were at the market as well, so which again is something I've got, but I consider rares a little bit on the easy side to level up, in my opinion. Simply because of sheer quantity that you'd get through on the casting grind once you get that far, so I think from that kind of point of view, you know, I consider it, well, okay, I wouldn't say it was easy, but I wouldn't exactly say it's difficult. It's just a bit like what we're doing here, you know, just port hop and more port hopping. So it's bad, but it could be a lot worse. Something that I'm also doing is I'm just more focusing on certain elements. I am doing a little bit of adventure. I am doing a little bit more battle at the moment, at least. So with going in and out of different ports, I'm actually leveling everything up trade skill wise as we go along, so hopefully by the time we get to say the casting grind I could already be say 3 or 4 levels up in the rares and the minerals trading aspect. So you know, it can work. Okay, so just have to excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Um, Sorry about that. Just had to disappear for a little bit. So my apologies to those watching. So, we're on the grind, as I said, between Bordeaux and Nantes. Is it really? Okay, I will try and suss that out. Is that any better? Oh, that's that's gonna fix it. I don't know why. Every time with my headset, um, on the system, it sets it back to like a level 10 on the microphone, and it does it. I don't know, it's weird, and it's just one of them things that I've got to keep remembering to change. So, as I say, doing Nantes to Bordeaux because at the moment wine into raisins is an R3 level recipe, but because I can on the way back do the food trading, it kind of works for me, I think. Um, Obviously using bar food as well at the moment, due to reset, and it is gonna be a boring grind. Thankfully I've only got 2 levels to go to reach level 7, and well, one, maybe a third there, so we should, I would say maybe about an hour from now, maybe get there. Yeah, I'd say maybe an hour. Because it's only a short port hop as well. So the aim is to get making some layer tools. Yes, there probably isn't that much profit in them, but I think we've got a fair amount of demand to kind of potentially to make a fair amount. Like I say, it's not something I'm gonna get rich over. No, this is actually me and my other character. Um, Yeah, I think we're back. Yeah, I'm dual boxing, basically. Um, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna um, dee dee dee. Right, no, that's not gonna work. I don't think actually. No, I was gonna try and do something and show you my desktop, but basically, I've got the game in windowed mode, and I'm pretty much, as you see on the screen, playing side by side. Um, Basically, what you do is you create two accounts, two characters, obviously, and then you're fleeting up. Let me just. The reason I do it in windowed and play at least these two side by side is because you're not having to constantly change between your desktops. So it's actually just that little bit kind of quicker. The actual launcher to the game actually allows you to run it twice. I'm actually buying the materials at the moment. But before the reset, because obviously we just moved from OG Planet to Papaya, I don't know how much you know about the game. We've had a reset. Now, before the reset, I kind of did collect some, but then I didn't collect others, and then I'd perhaps do it the other way round and all that. Oh, okay, it's your first time. Yeah, that's great. I hope you enjoy the game. I mean, I've had a lot of fun from the game. I will say that, to warn you, there is a bit of negativity in the game chat about the reset. The reset is because the game actually launched on Thursday. It's a fresh server, so to speak. But before it went to Papaya, it was with OG Planet, and the way we were kind of treated, it's kind of, there's a lot of negativity about the game, sort of thing, you know. But hopefully that'll kind of disappear. I think it's still fresh in everyone's minds, and we're having to regrind and all that. But if you're new to the game, I doubt much of that will bother you too much. You can collect your stuff. You can craft stuff. There's 5 different crafting bits, like handicraft, which is what I'm doing now. Cooking, which is your foods, obviously. Casting, which is your cannons and armours, your swords. Pretty much everything that you'd think a caster does. Sewing, which is pretty much some basic armours you can make. A lot of sewing is more or less really what you dress your character with, and a lot of it can be sold. I think it will be sold since the reset, but the time when I was playing it, sewing perhaps wasn't necessarily a great skill to sell stuff with. Obviously with sewing you can make your sails and that as well, and your ropes, and well, you'll get to know what other bits you can make. And there's a storage skill which you can make other bits and bobs with. I mean, what sort of aspects of the game are you looking? I mean, do you enjoy, say, battle? Do you enjoy adventure, or do you enjoy trade? Because, to be fair, this game has it all. It's really good in all three kind of aspects of the game. Yeah, that's great. I mean, exactly how you say. With adventure, it's a kind of a story, and at the end of each quest, there's like a discovery. It can be, I mean, depending on what skill set you choose, you got biological, biology, even biological, biology, geography, religious stuff, archaeology. You do have a treasure skill, astronomy, although that's a bit more later in the game. You won't be able to get your astrology or astronomy skill just yet. And there's something else, and it's just hanging on my tongue at the moment. In fact, let me just bring it up. Actually, I can do that. So yeah, here's the skills. Yeah, so you've got biology, art. That's the one that I was missing. Oh, an appraisal. I thought appraisal was actually treasure. No, it's actually appraisal, not treasure. My bad. So, although I've got 30 skills at the moment, I think when you join the game, I think you start off, I should know this, but I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, some stuff that you actually find from adventure, you can find swords which aren't available from, say, your shops. You got various other little bits. You do actually sometimes do find trade goods that come as part of your discovery aspect. Again, let me just bring up. So as you can see, they're all, I mean, this is early game, so most of it will be ports at the moment, but you kind of see some bits here, and with, say, this one, you get, say, an item. It won't be very good in the beginning, but as you're working up, like, your levels, basically you get skill levels and you get adventure levels, so it's something to get used to. These your character levels, so as you can see I'm still fairly low, but I'm doing okay because the game was released on Thursday on the 18th, and then you actually get like your skill levels as well. So at the moment my biology is 3. Now some of the stuff that you might be able to do crest wise might not be worth that much at the moment, but once you say get, I don't know, level 6, they'll be a bit worth a bit more, and then I don't know, let's just pick a random number 12, they could be worth a little bit more. But like I say, some of the crests don't give an actual item. So if you're gonna use adventure to kind of trade with, it can work, but once you've discovered that particular, say, sword type, and you repeat the crest, you won't get that sword item. On some crests it will work, but some crests you won't get that sword item. You know, it's like a one-time discovery sword, if that makes sense. And how to make a profit: you can sell to other players. Other players do tend to buy some of the stuff that you find. Yeah, exactly. Adventure is basically doing a ton of crests. At the moment you got like chain crests, where you have to follow a line of crests, if you like, to get to the final. Some crests just simply unlock other crests and all that. Let me okay, so this is a list that one of the players have put together. Can you see that yet? No, well, kind of, I guess. Sorry about that, I just didn't want my bits going out. I think I've sorted it. No, Ian, it's just that little bit more. That's it. So this is a list that a player has put together. It comes with some links to the crests, and it's like 2,800 plus discoveries that you can make. Now some of them are crests, some of them are what we call archive maps, and some of them you can just discover by fishing or just by finding and all that. So there is plenty. I mean, the red ones are the ones that I've done so far, so kind of ignore that just a little bit. But there is absolutely hundreds and thousands, and the game, if you are going to be cresting, brilliant, really is brilliant. Before the reset I actually had about 2,000 of them all ticked off. I do plan on looking into it again, but it is all really all about kind of you kind of got to balance it out. You can't be too adventure based, but you can't be too trade based, and in a way you can't be too battle based. You've got, once you've reached maximum skill slots, which is 51, plus you can buy a premium thing which gives you +5 skill slots, and plus you can buy a one-off +3 skills. But if you're planning on playing for free, your maximum skill allowance is 51 per character. So this is partly because why I play 2 characters. Some of the skills will bleed over. I call it bleeding over to your other character, so that basically your fleet that you make with you and your other character. Oh yes, there is piracy as well. Oh yes. That's a whole different part of the game. For me at least. I've never personally done it. I have been caught by a few pirates, not since the server restart, but pre-Papaya Play aspect. And yes, they do catch you. Yes, they do rip your ass. But what's different is, this time around, they can steal your items and your boat parts, like your cannons and clothing and all that. Now, at the moment, it's not quite clear just how far the items that they can steal goes. For instance, we don't know if our premium stuff is safe or what have you. So there are some things to consider when going into pirate waters. Now, EU is safe. So you've got your Northern Europe, you know, Great Britain, Amsterdam, Baltic Sea, and round the edge, round to like your Nantes, Bordeaux, to Lisbon, to Seville, and up to the East Mediterranean. All that is safe waters and always will be. The rest of the world is literally your danger zone, unless bounty hunters make it safe waters. That is the only other way that, you know, you'd be safe. So as a beginner, I would say perhaps try and focus a little bit around Europe. Get your bearings, and all that. And to be fair, just enjoy the game. It is a bit of a long-term game as far as the grind, you know, your leveling up of your skills go. It is really slow. At the moment, there is a bonus though, which is available, which will help. You know, I think if you're going to join the game as a new player, I would honestly do it now. Now is definitely the time to try it, simply because no one really has the advantage, so to speak, at the moment. I mean, people can give it all that in chat and that and say, oh yeah, we got this, we got that, but I don't think, because we're all newish players, I don't think anyone's particularly got the handover just yet. I mean, obviously your battle focus people will obviously focus on battle compared to what I'm doing with this trade and a bit of battle and a bit of adventure, so perhaps they'll have the slight upper hand, but like I say, the game is, you play it to your level, you play it with what you're comfortable with. I can't really say much more than that, really. I mean, like I say, the grinds are long. I'm definitely not going to lie about that. But yeah, you just kind of do. What do you mean plays itself offline? You can kind of set it like that, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Yeah, there is a way you can do it. I've never personally used it, and personally it's not something I don't think I'd really want to do. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, if you're gonna, you need to sail everywhere really in this game. There's no shortcut around that. Unfortunately. But, yeah, I honestly wouldn't want to do that. Where I log off, I prefer to log in, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's no shortcut like that. Personally, I would say anywhere but Venice is a straight up answer. I just feel that Venice is just that little bit out the way to like a central kind of area. The thing is, with this game, people say there are advantages as belonging to one country than another. I think it really depends on a little bit what part of, say, you're looking at trading and stuff, I guess. I mean, if you're planning on casting your own cannons and stuff, people say going Dutch helps. Others will say going French helps. If you're doing handicraft, some people say going French is easier. Stuff like that. I think it's one of them games where I don't think it really matters where you start, in all honesty. I just wouldn't start as Venice because, like I say, I just feel it's that little bit out the way. But then Venice people will probably be saying, well, actually, it's a great place to start. You know, I don't think there's much in where you start the game, really. You know, I don't think there's any advantages or disadvantages. None that I can really think of, at least. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I see where you're going on this. Now, we have a thing called Epic Sea Feud, which is when all-out war breaks loose. Now, under the old host, and I would assume it would be the same with the new host, it happens once a month, and it could be, say, England against Spain, the actual war, but then, as, say, a French player, you get to vote on what side you want to help, whether it's the English, whether it's the Spanish. Once everyone's kind of voted, all the time expires, should I say, you will find out whether you're fighting with Spain against England or whether you're going to be siding with England against Spain, or you might not be fighting either side. You know, you can choose what side you want to fight. So if you want to fight against England, go with Spain, or if you want to fight with England against Spain, you know, you side with England. So there's all these little kind of political kind of voting kind of aspect of the game. Outside of the Epic Sea Feud battles, you could, I suppose, role play that damn you England or damn you Spain and or whatever. But theoretically, you're not like enemies outside of it as such. You know, it's like just a once a month kind of thing that kind of affects the game a little bit. It's something I've not explored too much, really. I've just kind of really gone with the game. I've never actually taken part in one of them battles. I'll tell a lie, I did take part in one, but I didn't really do that well. Yeah. But, yeah. They're kind of enemies if you take part in them. If you're not that bothered, then, you know, I guess you just sort of see them and, you know, you could fleet up with them and stuff still, you know. It doesn't, just because two countries are at war, it doesn't actually stop you from playing together unless you take part in the actual battle itself. I hope that's kind of answered your question. I mean, if there's anything else you need to know, normally, and I say normally, people are pretty good at helping each other. The other aspect is there are what I call companies and what the game call companies, but other games call them guilds, and I'd recommend definitely as a new player to definitely try and get into a company, because then you can ask your, if you like, teammates or company mates, you know, a little few questions. There's also a school chat that you can ask questions in, and once I think you reach level 11, you got like a world game chat to ask questions in as well. So there's definitely a lot of avenues to explore help from if you do need any and stuff. So, you know, I will warn you though, that the game does have kind of a steep learning curve at the beginning. I will warn you. First time I actually joined the game, I enjoyed the graphics, I enjoyed everything about the game, but I got so frustrated, I uninstalled the game, went to bed. But then the next day, I thought, you know what, this game ain't gonna beat me. And here I am like 2 years later. So it does, you know, once you can kind of suss it, it will drag you in. It will definitely drag you in. And then before you know it, you're doing all-nighters, because you're so relaxed, you just don't know what time it is. You just lose all track of time. like I say, before you know it, you're doing all-nighters and yeah. So that is a bit of a warning for you. Okay, well, I assume you won't be watching me anymore, so I wish you good luck really with the game and I hope you kind of enjoy it. Um, like I say, I will warn you, school can be quite boring. Oh, even better, start, yep, even better, even better. Thank you very much. If you need help, just shout me and I'll try and help you as much as I can from here. Do you have any idea what country you're gonna kind of go for? Or anything like that? Yeah, I like it, yeah, but that's exactly right. Um, yeah, that's exactly how I was at the beginning. I really didn't know. Yeah, yeah. French is meant to be pretty good for that, from what I understand. I mean, it certainly is with this. I do as well. I definitely hate the idea of running away. Um, but I think it's something you kind of got to do sometimes because some players are just ruthless here. You know, even if you're, like a little baby, as in terms of your character being low leveled, a lot of the older players will just come up, boom, you're sunk. You know, that's it. But you can get rescued with by either using the rescue skill or life vests. Um, let me. So it's not the end of the world if you get sunk. It's the only really end of the world if they steal something that you're absolutely using and need it basically. So swings both ways really. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of looking at leveling my levels a little bit just so that I can defend myself enough to hopefully um, at least make them second guess me and move away or go that little bit further away from you and stuff. Whether or not that kind of tactic will work or not, who knows. It is literally a game of cat and mouse and swings and roundabouts, really. So just loading up with raisins and wine again for about the 200th time. So we've just done another load of raisins into wine. Can get quite repetitive when you're grinding stuff. That's why it's sometimes good to try and level up and try and level up as much as I can. It doesn't matter if you choose a fat player or not, to be honest with you. They all move the same pace. Yeah, it doesn't matter what character you choose. Unfortunately, when you make a character, you do only have very basic clothing, which I think is a bit of a shame, but I suppose it gives you something to you definitely. Whereabouts are you starting off anyway? What country? Ah, Dutch, okay. Yeah, so for your casting then as a Dutch, Hamburg is kind of quite good for your casting because you get your hell of a lot of minerals which you can turn into your iron, your coppers, bronze I think you can make there as well. So yeah, definitely a good place to start, I would say. I'm gonna link you to a site that I kinda use. Now, as a new player, that will definitely look very daunting for you. Um, I will say that much now. Um, don't worry too much about it for now, at least. But I just kind of, at this moment in time, just focus on getting started in the game. There it is. So I got so many bookmarks that I was trying to find it then. Okay. Let me just... It does definitely look daunting, but it's definitely a good guide. And there you go. So yeah, very daunting, but I wouldn't worry about it too much at your early sort of days at the moment. And good luck to you, and I hope you enjoy the game. So obviously we're back in Bordeaux again. So we're going to go down to Seville now, I think, and just see if a little bit more different of a port hop will help with the oh, hold on. I don't think I can use that. One sec. Interesting. What can I think Nantes does reach? I think I've been losing out a bit, you know? I do hope that is right. Well, I hope it's not, but I kinda hope it is at the same time. So, yeah. So it is a long grind actually. I'm curious before we go and process that. Bonus. Bonus, bonus, bonus. That is definitely a bonus there. So, as suspected, I have missed out on a bit of skill points, but it also means that now I can boost it a lot. Oh, please don't do that. So we'll do some swapping again. Yeah, I should get a lot over onto it. Guess I'll have to use some rigger food stuff, unfortunately, because my character is full. And then we'll go and get some wheat and process that. So we're getting a double load of wheat to make whiskey. It doesn't make a lot, but it is a better recipe than raisin into wine, skill level wise, which means it'll be a lot quicker leveling up. Oh, there's several different risky recipes, that's why. So, like I say, won't necessarily make a lot, but at least it helps. And high HSP. So unfortunately with grinds it is so slow. So for about 300th time now, we get some more raisins. That's good to see. Oh, that's alcohol though. Let's see what else we can do. I think I need that brewer's secret too. Oh, I can make brandy with two of that. Okay, I think I can see a way through it. A certain amount. So we'll head back up to Nantes. And the wines we make will also turn into brandy. Sell that and then we'll turn the wheat into the little whiskey we do actually end up with. Just how far we gotta go? Okay, 7,200 points worth. I guess if I had it favoured, probably half the time. But at the moment I just don't have it favoured. But saying that, I'm not too worried about it. Because the more trips I make, the higher my food and alcohol and luxury skills get rich. Let's face it, you can't produce anything without the ingredients, so probably does balance out in the end, really. Looking at my skill, that has actually helped a ton. Just do a quick exchange again. We'll swap some bits over. And we'll just quickly get that risky going. Okay, and we'll go back to Bordeaux. So, going to Nantes again. Hopefully won't be long now till we get to the R7. So we are making headway now, for sure. Still a long way to level 7, but we are definitely getting there. So we are roughly a fifth into our level 6 to 7 grind. Fortunately it's getting there painstakingly slow. But the more we do this port hopping, the easier it will be to go from, say, 7 through to, I think it's 15. You know, as a future project, but I think before we do that, I think it'd be just a little bit easier to just use 7 as a point, and then sort of go from there, really. So we'll just do a trade. Again. Ah, so it did actually. What we got left? That's alright. bit of bigger food for the risky, what I can make at least of it. Not too worried. So again, we're just about leaving. Nantes for Bordeaux to get some more raisins and wine so that we can convert. So a quick trade of food there, just as a reserve, in case the barkeeper gets a bit funny again. Because he can get a bit like that. Don't forget to like and comment, share, and everything in between. Subscribe if you want to catch all future streams or recordings, etc, etc, etc. And so we're back to Bordeaux for some more wine and raisins. So while we do a sailing, have a quick little look. So we're just about coming up to the halfway mark of level 6. So we're actually doing alright. Actually doing alright. I'm gonna make a teeny weeny prediction. I would say maybe 2 more trips between Bordeaux and Nantes, and I would say we're probably about done. So from that kind of point of view, perfect. And then after I've done that, leveled up and made some layer tools, what I will do is take a little break, and then I think we'll look at doing a bit more in the battle element. Just to try and keep sort of my levels fairly kinda close at the moment, because that's something I kinda want to, at least this time around, try and manage that a little bit better. It's just a personal thing. I mean, I got away with about 30-40 level, about 30-40 levels difference before, so you know, so you don't necessarily need battle up there or anything, but I'm just sort of thinking at the moment as a personal thing, because I'm not too I am bothered about battle, but I kind of not at the same time. But at the same time, you kind of want to try and get some levels so that you can get better ships and everything. So it is a bit of a catch 22, really. So again, we'll go and buy some wheat so that we can turn it into whiskey. Unfortunately, not very much whiskey, but it'll help fight our corner a little bit. Okay. So we've got approximately 3,300 skill points to go. And as you saw on the right hand side of the screen, that's what happens if you hug the coastline just that little bit too much. So we are, it is within reach at the moment. We got, by my reckoning, about 2,500 to go. So I think we will be looking at maybe about 3 trips more. Yeah, I'm going with about another 3 trips. And then I think we should be about done. So, just a little recap. This time I got a bit too close to the box. Yeah, just a quick recap. Raisins into wine. We're buying wine while we're in Bordeaux as well. Taking it up to Nantes to process. Raisins into wines and then the wines into brandy. Then we're selling them and picking up wheat to turn into whiskey. All are available from port hopping between the 2 towns. So we're about 1,000 skill points off, which I think would be about 2 trips. Give or take. Hopefully, anyway. So we're very, very, very close to our goal of reaching level 7 in the handicraft stuff. So we are very, 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 very close. I'm not quite sure that this will take it over though, but I think it will come quite close to where we want it. So keeping everything crossed. Ah, 250 points short. So back to Bordeaux, and I guess this time we'll just process it in Bordeaux as well. I don't think there'd be much point bringing it up, really. Okay, so we've reached Handicraft 7, which is where we wanted to be. Don't forget, share, like, comment, etc, etc, and thank you for watching.